My name is Chad Williams, and today we're going to talk about a mixed factorial Anova. So essentially what we have here is we have two separate groups that each do two different things. So we have a between variable, which is two groups, and we have a within variable, which means that each group did two different things. So let's start off by making some data. I'm going to use the cbind function here, but let's do it one column at a time. And so we have two different groups, each with two different levels. So we need four different distributions. So we're going to do that with the rnorm function. And we're going to have 50 people per distribution, which the first one's going to have a mean of 20, standard deviation of 4. Second one, same thing, but a mean of 25. Third one, same thing, but of 30. And then finally, same thing, but of 35. And that gives us this here. So we have 200 data points for the first the first 100 is going to be group 1. The second 100 is going to be group 2. So we're going to add that as our first column. The next two columns is going to be our identifiers for each different factor. So the first factor is group. So we have two different groups of 100 people. And then the second factor is condition. So each person did two different things. So let's do that in this way. So the first one is what we want is 1 to 2, and we're going to repeat this 100 times. So what we get is 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 200 times. But then let's sort this, and what we'll get is 1 100 times, and then 2 100 times. So this is going to be our group. So this is group 1, and then group 2. So that's our first factor. Oh, let's leave the sort there. So our second factor is going to have something like this. We're going to go 1 to 2, but we're only going to repeat it 50 times, and we're going to sort this. So we're going to get half the amount of data as we just did, or I should say identifiers. Then we're going to actually repeat this whole thing twice. That gives us 1 50 times, 2 50 times, 1 50 times, 2 50 times. And we'll look at that in a second here. And that is right here, where we have our scores, then we have our group. So group 1, group 2. And then we have our condition. So group 1 in condition 1, group 1 in condition 2, group 2 in condition 1, and group 2 in condition 2. Next, we need subject variables. We're going to repeat 1 to 50 twice. And then what we're also going to do is repeat 51 to 100 twice. And you'll see what that means in a second here. But if I put that there, that's what we get here. So 1 to 50, 1 to 50, 51 to 100 to 51 100. Then I could pop that up here. And great, so if we put that all together, oh, I missed the C. There we go. And if we put that all together, what we see is we have our scores, we have our group variable, we have our condition variable, then we have our participant IDs. So the first 50 is in group 1 and condition 1, but then the same first 50 is in group 1 still, but condition 2. And then we have the 51 to 100 is in group 2 in both conditions as well. Great. So this is about the time that I tell you to plot your data. But here we're not going to do it because it's hard to do it with a complex design like this. And I'd rather use ggplot2, so I'll make a different video to do that. So the next thing we need to do is clean up our data. So data is the first thing is we need to turn it into a data frame. And that's going to look like this. And we want to name our columns. So we start off with scores, and then we're going to put group, so which group they're in, then which condition they're in, and then what's their subject ID. That looks like this. And then what we want to do is we want to change these last three things to a factor because they are factors, not numerical values. So we're going to go data, comma 2, equals as.factor, and that turns that one into a factor, and I could do this for the other three as well. Sorry, I mean the other two. And there we go. Now these are all factors. Now we're going to do a mix ANOVA with the easy library. And then we're going to use the easy ANOVA function. So let's run that, and then we're going to use easy ANOVA. And even though it's easy to use, it's not entirely intuitive at first go. So what we first want is dv equals dot bracket, so dv, dependent variable. So that's our scores, and that's just we're pointing towards the title of our column here. And then what we want is between, so this is going to be our group variable, our between subject variable, which is going to be group. And then we want within, which equals our condition. Then we want our within, or WID, which is our subject ID. And then we want a detailed output. So that's the actual variables in there now. We want detailed output. We want to use a sums of squared type 3. If you don't know what that means, Google it because it's important. And we're going to say our data variable that we're looking at is data. So this is that there. Great. So let's run this and see what happens. So what we have is our different levels. So we have our group variable, our condition variable. So this is between subject, that's within subject. And then we have our interaction. We have our degrees of freedom for the numerator and the denominator. We have our sums of squareds, we have our f values, and we have our p values. And then we have our generalized eta squared. So what we see is our numerator degrees of freedom makes sense because we have k minus 1. So each one has two levels, which is k minus 1 equals 1. So the denominator degrees of freedom is how many people we have minus how many groups we have. So that's 100 minus 2, and there you go. That's 98. And then if we look at the between subject group variable, there's our f value, and we see that the p value is very small, so it is significant. And same thing with our condition, but there's no interaction effect here. So how do we report this? So we go f, 1 comma 98, which is our 2 degrees of freedom, equals, and then let's go with the group factor first, which is 247.51 f value. Our p is very small, so less than 0.0001, and our generalized eta squared is 0.57, and that's what you see here. Now I'm just putting GES here, but eta is a symbol, so make sure you're reporting it correctly when you're actually reporting it outside of R. So that's our first main effect, our group main effect, or our between subject main effect. Now we can do the same for our conditional effect. Our f value changes to 59 point, it looks like 86. Our p value is still really small, so it's still less than 0.0001. And then we have a generalized eta squared of 0.22. And finally, our interaction effect has an f value of 1.35, a p that looks like 0.24 something, 2479, and then an eta squared value of 0.01, or a generalized eta squared value. And there you have it.